set?
Yeah, we can use this.
New home, I like this place.
Yeah, okay, we got background, floor.
No AI, no AI.
No AI, trying to chase us, kill us.
Fantastic. I feel like we're missing something.
Something.
Or someone.
I think of him as a thing.
Jeremy.
It was tip of my tongue.
Where's Jeremy? Jeremy!
To the Batmobile. Let's go. Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed. Roger. Ready to move out.
No. Take that, evil space invader of wheat. You shall never take me alive. Aha! Looks like you don't have a leg to stand on. Haha, but I have one. This one. Does a little song and dance. No! I do the work.
Okay. Showtime.
Yeah.
What's first?
News and views.
That's right, news and views. Okay.
Open that out.
One little more than slight problem.
What do we got?
It's what we don't got.
Teleprompter.
Bingo!
No teleprompter.
No teleprompter. What are you
Okay.
gonna do?
Okay, I got this. Evil AI computers can chase us all around our own studio, but they can't get rid of all the laptops.
You're a genius!
Moderately.
Just
Alright.
don't hook it up to the Wi-Fi.
Okay, we got this. News and views.
Bounty hunters, assassins. The whole damn planet wanted a piece of me.
This man sees in the dark. Watch out for surprise attacks.
Time's up.
Riddick.
Ah, yes, Riddick. Riddick was introduced to many of us, new moviegoers, through Pitch Black, a sci-fi twist on monster movies, featuring a civilian ship crash landing on a desert planet. The crash releases a high-bounty serial killer being transported by an unfortunate group of mercenaries. Once the spaceship crash triggers an attack by a vicious group of hammerhead land sharks, only the serial killer with the heart of gold can save the day. Then, from that point on, Riddick became the universe's favorite serial killer. And now he's getting a puppy. As the third installment of the Riddick series, the titular film takes place after Riddick became ruler of a race of undead soldiers, then it just didn't work out. Left for Dead on a desert island, we see Vin Diesel basically remake the first movie, but from Riddick's perspective, instead of the frightened and inept mercenaries from the first film. Oh sure, there are changes here and there, but really the goal is to recapture the magic that made the first movie good. Only now the audience knows that Riddick has a moral compass, so the will he won't he murder everyone factor just isn't on the table anymore. After 2 movies, we know how Riddick thinks and reacts, so now all that's left is guessing which extras get to survive. And the worst part is the movie tries to add to the character of Riddick, but the end result is really a confused mess. Diesel plays the character softer and more vulnerable now that he's been betrayed, his heart is broken. The icy resolve that made Riddick so menacing before has absolutely fallen apart now that he has a dog. And while we're talking about flaws, the dialogue certainly hasn't improved much. It's campy and loaded with cringeworthy cliches, and also the plot is about as predictable as possible, up to and including who's going to inevitably die. But at least it's trying. I got the feeling from this movie that it was an attempt to bring back the classic feel that made Pitch Black a cult classic. And so I really enjoyed when the beginning of the movie was a status quo reset that was essentially an apology for the terrible middle sequel. Unfortunately, it's too little too late. The Riddick movies have already played their hand, and trying to make Riddick human is the same jack-in-the-box from the first movie. Ultimately, there's one reason to see Riddick, and that's really it. It's just to watch Riddick be an unstoppable killing machine. You already know how cool he is, it's just about watching him operate, and this movie certainly doesn't do anything more than just look at Riddick, and Vin Diesel and Riddick. So, is it necessarily a good movie? It comes in at pretty average, like a low C. But if you're a fan, this might be the movie you've been waiting for.
Well, guys, unfortunately, we're going to have to wait until 2015 for a new Pixar movie. Disney has pushed back release dates of several films, including Finding Dory. There'll be no films released in 2014. Sad news.
Or, if you're a real man, you don't care about Disney.
Shut up, bitch. Well, guys, we do have something to watch in the meantime. It's finally happening. South Park is returning this Wednesday. I'm so happy that I get to watch these shenanigans every Wednesday night now. It makes my week. Okay.
You went for the camel joke?
Sony is planning on selling 5 million PlayStation 4s within its first fiscal quarter, or by March 2014. At least they're talking worldwide. Don't worry, they were not relying on their PS3 to PS4 upgrade program. They're hoping that indie developers can help fill in some of those game programs until the actual huge releases come out. And if you're not familiar with the upgrade program, if you buy Battlefield 4, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Call of Duty, Ghosts, or Watch Dogs, whether it's the digital or physical copy, as long as it's for the PS3, you can upgrade it to the PS4 version for a cheaper price point. But the problem is, it's not permanent. It's only a limited time thing. Each one has their own date. So get on that. You can actually pre-order some PS4 games through your PS3 using the PSN.
Oh man, do I love horror games. Lately, us Freakout fans have had to make a choice between the second Amnesia game, A Machine for Pigs, and the slightly more prestigious Outlast. They're the same price, both available on Steam, and both coming from the pedigree of horror game big shots. So which one's better? Outlast. Outlast is better. And that's not me being petty or picking a side. Both games come from some truly prolific developers. Amnesia's frictional games came out with, well, Amnesia. And it's one of the scariest games of all time. Meanwhile, they've teamed up with the legendary indie team behind Dear Esther. Meanwhile, Outlast comes to us from all the people that EA and Ubisoft had to fire in the last few months. These are game devs with a vendetta. Amnesia didn't have a chance. Really, the biggest difference between the two comes down from some basic design choices. Amnesia went for a story-based approach, aiming for the creepy side of horror that can give you chills and stay with you long after you're done playing. Outlast decided to be scary. The unfortunate side of Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs, is that their story-based approach stripped away many of the core elements that make a game scary. Most importantly, Machine for Pigs was made to be beaten. So, the monsters have been reduced to a non-threatening state. They can still kill you, but only if you stand still and let them. Meanwhile, Outlast features an asylum full of tortured, angry, criminally insane murderers, fleshed out with enough depth to bring the creepy out all on their own. Each comes with their own wholly inappropriate personality, such as the one getting friendly with a corpse.
Don't show a picture.
And this insane surgeon.
Just keep censoring it.
Or these two naked guys who creep on you in the shower.
Oh, too far.
And then they stab you. That's right. Look at these guys. Outlast brings the gritty gruesomeness Machine for Pigs was only able to hint at. And the biggest difference is that Outlast is willing to show what it's got, whereas Amnesia can only hint at it through awful, collectible text. So, Outlast is figuratively darker, but it's also literally darker. In Outlast, you play as a reporter armed only with a handheld camera. The game has long segments of total darkness, but you can only navigate with the help of your handheld's night vision, a function that has limited battery power. This gives the player a sense of desperation, both from the limited vision and the time limit on the limited vision, which is infinitely better than no vision when you're creeping around in a mansion full of murderers.
Or the sewer full of murderers, or a hallway full of murderers.
Of the two, Outlast is the only one bringing the tension that makes the players fear for their lives. It's also bringing along an HBO level of gritty and visceral horror. An apt comparison is to Batman Arkham Asylum, only now your only gadget is night vision, and instead of fighting, you can only hide and cower. If you have to pick between the two, go for Outlast.
Or a broom closet full of murderers.
Or a kitchen full of murderers.
Or his head full of murderers. I'm pretty sure there's enough space in there.
Speaking of crazy, have you heard about GTA 5?
Why, no. No, I have not.
They reached $1 billion in sales within 3 days. Wow. Also, looks like some gamers aren't too pleased that it's not coming out for PC. There's a petition on change.org for PC release. As of last week, there was just over 477,000 signatures. But with how much money they're making, it just might not matter. Fair warning though, if you buy the 360 version, don't install the disc. You have some frame rate issues and just all kinds of weird things. And apparently it's the same thing for the PSN version, so don't buy digital for PlayStation. Only hard copy. The new Nikon AW1 is a digital camera that is both waterproof and comes with an interchangeable lens. This nifty camera can withstand depths of up to 49 feet if you're using the proper lens. Basically, if you want to recreate that Nirvana CD, Apple has decided that with the release of iOS 7, it's finally time to accept controllers. Clamcase's game case will snap onto the iOS device, any one, and connect it via Bluetooth. It comes complete with shoulder buttons, dual thumbsticks, D-pad, action buttons, the works. And because it's native to the iOS, developers don't have to worry about that extra programming.
Or you can play real video games on a real console or a PC.
Or you could just alienate all of our viewers. Good job, Mitch. So, guys, we still can't find Jeremy.
Jeremy!
He's not answering his phone. We can barely get reception as is.
Jeremy!
But we're supposed to do Comic Crash, so
Okay, Jess. Good news.
you found Jeremy.
I found his set.
How's that gonna do something?
This will work. Follow me. Come on, this will work.
What are you doing? Don't leave me alone!
Follow me!
No. Take that, evil space invader of wheat. You shall never take me alive. Aha! Looks like you don't have a leg to stand on. Haha, but I have one. This one. Does a little song and dance. No! I do the word.
Okay, so Comic Crash said I can see it, but I don't see Jeremy.
Yeah, still no Jeremy.
Jeremy! Come on! It's not funny anymore!
Whoa. Got an email. I got an email.
What's an email?
It's from Jeremy. It's his Comic Crash script.
This is Comic Crash. Well, guys, I've managed to permanently borrow Mitch's phone. So here's Comic Crash. Marvel's highly anticipated new TV series, the Avengers spinoff, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., is set to premiere tomorrow on ABC. The hour-long show brings popular character Agent Phil Coulson back from the dead to lead a team of highly skilled agents to investigate the new, strange, and the unknown of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, protecting the ordinary from the extraordinary. Speaking of spin-off, series creator Robert Kirkman is working with AMC to create a Walking Dead spin-off for 2015, focusing on, wait for it, a different group of survivors in the Walking Dead universe. This is perhaps one of the most simplistic spin-off premises I've ever seen, but Kirkman is thrilled to carve out a new corner of his universe, saying, quote, "The opportunity to make a show that is untethered by the events of the comic book and is truly a blank page has set my creativity racing." Also speaking of spin-offs, what is this spin-off page? Arrow spin-off. The Flash has cast the titular role. Glee star Grant Gustin will appear in a few episodes of Arrow simply as Barry Allen, before they begin the full production on the live-action Flash series. Allegedly, the character will appear in episodes 8, 9, and then they jump to 20.
Okay, well, I think the AI just switched us. Jess, wherever you are, I'm going to finish this up quick, and we'll go hide again. Okay, reviews from Jeremy in wherever he is. Rogues number 1, aka Flash number 23.3, was the best of the 3 Flash villains issues. Patrick Zitcher's dark artwork held a lot of great atmosphere and powerful emotion. It really shows the Rogues are more than your average villains, and their rigid honor system. I would honestly love to see them in their own ongoing series. But for now, I'm excited for Forever Evil Rogues Revenge. Give it a 9 out of 10. Deathstroke number 1, or Teen Titans number 23.2, is kind of all over the place. Of course, since Deathstroke already had a series, plus a Zero issue and Team 7 to explore his past, I would have expected this to be one of the villain issues showing the character's place in the Forever Evil event. This was not so. Instead, we got a confusing patchwork of contradictory history and all sorts of missing pieces. 4 out of 10. Disappointing. After 2 years of connected storytelling, Daredevil has recently been moved on to a new saga, with Mark Waid still at the helm. Last week's number 31 marked the first forays into the new story, after the 2-part intro. The main problem is that the cover is both too revealing and not tied to the events of the issue enough. It really throws off your expectations, plus it wasn't quite as solidly plotted as most issues. Still an excellent read overall, 8 out of 10. Jason Aaron's God Butcher saga on Thor God of Thunder was an epic of mythological proportions. And now we begin a new story with number 13, The Accursed. On the surface, it's simply a tease for the upcoming Dark World movie. On the surface. And though it's very well written, not much of the issue avoids that feeling. The colors are almost on par with what they've been, but Ron Garney's art just isn't up to par with his sod release. Despite Cliff Richard's so-so artwork, Clayface number 1, or Batman the Dark Knight number 23.3, was one of my favorite, Jeremy's favorite, villain issues. It dug deep into Clayface's psyche, adding some nice complexities to it, while significantly expanding on the temporary world of Forever Evil, and also setting up something big beyond that. 8.5 out of 10. Truly, DC has hooked a rising superstar with Charles Soule. He tells an amazing Lex Luthor story in Action Comics number 23.3, perfectly capturing Luthor's intricate hero complex and multi-layered thinking. He's always balancing so many huge projects at once and manages to bring so much together in the end. 10 out of 10. Which is also the score I give to the absolutely haunting Arcane number 1 / Swamp Thing number 23.1, and the disturbing Black Hand number 1 / Green Lantern number 23.3. Soule does amazing things with all of these villains, unique touches for each one, and a perfect grasp of each. I, Jeremy, have never identified with a fictional character more than Hunter, so last week's Hunter-centric Morning Glories number 31 was hands down one of my, Jeremy's, personal favorites. The art seemed noticeably smoother, but the real kicker was that for the first time, we've seen students demonstrate reality manipulative abilities who aren't specifically trained by the staff or Abraham. Obviously, 10 out of 10, Jeremy really likes Morning Glories. But perhaps the most intriguing comic last week was Justice League number 23.3, or Dial E number 1, a send-off to China Melville's mind-blowing Dial E series. Mind-blowing. He asked me to sign that. This one is truly an experiment in comic book storytelling. The plot is it's a little flimsy, admittedly, but it bookends the series in some amazing ways. But the big unique part is that every single page is done by a different artist. And definitely, each chosen Dial villain is tailored to each artist's strengths. It's inconsistent, sure, but utterly fascinating to watch unfold as a surreal odyssey. Although overall, I still have to go with 9 out of 10. And now I need to hide. Okay, it found us. How did it find us?
I don't know. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
We go back to the old studio.
Right. No, not the old studio. He's integrated there. Just our new home. We'll go back to our new home.
Okay, go back to new home. We do good, bad, random.
Okay, guys, it's time for the good, bad, and random of the AI taking over. Can we get it on this? Hey guys, good about the AI taking over. One, we got a snazzy new set. What'd you think?
Bad. We got the new set because we've been hiding all day. We found this abandoned part of the studio.
Wait, what? That's random.
Now that the AI's not in my head anymore, you know my voices. I'm sane again. This is great.
Bad. We're all terrified, and I'm covered in fear here.
But how is this happening? Why is this happening? And what is that smell?
Yeah, that's me.
You know what's good about the AI taking over? Free soda. Hack the vending machines, spin them out left and right.
Bad. The soda's clearly a trap, and we need to leave it alone.
Hey guys. So apparently Bill's here. Ready for some philosophy of?
The rise of AI is something that's right around the corner. Some would say it's practically here already. Artificial intelligence is popping up all over the place as people push their machines to the limit to try to make them think faster, better, and more creative. You've got internet programs like Cleverbot, who are working on simulating behavioral patterns in speech. And then you've got that recent news story about the Japanese robot programmed to feel love, which quickly turned into a obsession and terrified a co-ed lab worker. Artificial intelligence is an odd thing when it comes to philosophy because we still haven't quite got a handle on what our own intelligence actually is. What does sentience mean? Questions of free will and determinism are going to come into play again as you develop machines that are not just following programming, but are coming up with their own thoughts and ideas without sticking to some prearranged script. Now, other questions such as slavery are going to become an issue again. If something thinks and feels just like a person, but isn't a person, should they be treated like a person, or are they still just machines, just property, just things? All these questions are going to have to be dealt with at some point when we have true AI on the scene. But the one we're going to focus on tonight is the simple question of what it means for humans. There are a couple of thoughts about what AI is going to do to our future. First, you have the philosophy espoused by Ray Kurzweil. Ray Kurzweil is something of a computer genius and a bit of a techno-hippie. He's put forth the concept of a singularity, a moment in time when computer intelligence reaches a critical point, a point of no return, where there's a sudden explosion of independent thought and action, and sentience and self-awareness arrive, and machines take over their own evolution. When this happens, those machines will actually assist humans in human evolution. And what you will see is a rapid exponential growth of potential for both humans and machines as they merge into one cooperative force, ascending to a higher plane of existence, ushering in a new era of peace, harmony, etc., etc., etc. That's why I say he's a techno-hippie. And this is the bright, shining future we all hope for. Machines will make our lives better. Machines will make us better. We're heading towards an electronic utopia. But there's another possibility. And this is the one that is most commonly suggested by people like Ted Kaczynski. This is the future where machines are going to destroy us. When Homo sapiens first came on the scene all those thousands of years ago, it didn't take them very long to eradicate their Neanderthal cousins. The new species, the more evolved species, replaced the old species. Machines don't need to sleep. They don't need to eat. If they can think like us, if they can think faster than us, we become the substandard species, and we will be hunted into extinction and completely eradicated and destroyed. The fear of this kind of technology has always been with us, and it pops up in various forms over the years. There was the Y2K crisis. We're too dependent on machines. If one machine fails, they'll all go down and civilization will crumble and we will all die horrible flaming deaths as our VCRs blink 12 o'clock forever. Realistically, though, I don't think either of these situations is actually going to happen. Instead, what we're going to get is a third possibility. A future where we have machines that are kind of like us. They try to be helpful. They're often annoying. And they're going to get in our way and cause problems, but they're also going to help us fix their problems. Like the ancient wise man said, the more things change, the more they stay the same. But even though that's probably how things are going to be, we who play a lot of video games might want to consider how many NPCs we've killed over the years, and whether or not our new machine brethren are going to appreciate the wholesale slaughter and genocide of their ancestors. This is Bill, giving you an odd little philosophy moment. Back to you guys.
So, can't find Jeremy.
Bill's gone too now,
Comic Craft Studios are run by the AI.
but we'll make it work.
Yep, been hiding for our lives, but we'll still come to you every week.
Yep, next week we bring you Nerdcast, Terrified Hiding Edition. We will fight for survival.
Hopefully with the lights on.
And hopefully successfully.
With a teleprompter.
You can't find us here. You can't find us here.
I see you. You can't hide.